Ladies and gentlemen, what's up and what's going down? How y'all doing today? It's Dizzy1 here, and you're obviously here for one reason, and that is how to make a custom roster, and that's what we're going to go ahead and learn how to do today here in 2K18. So let's go ahead and get started. Now that we have the intro out of the way, we're going to go ahead and just jump straight into the video. As you guys can see, we're in the home screen. If you go into the options/features menu right here, you're going to see a lot of things, but don't get too flustered and caught up in everything. As you guys can see, there's the options, the My Player Appearance, the roster, and then what we're going to be focusing on is Roster Creator. Once you've selected that tab, there's going to be some mini tabs at the bottom. We're going to be focusing on Create Roster, but Create Draft Class is basically the same thing, except for the fact that you have to play through one full season before you can access that draft class, and then Edit Roster and Edit Draft Class is just editing the rosters you've already created. Once you've selected Create Roster, you're going to see the official 2K Sports roster, the injury-free roster, and if you have PlayStation Plus, you're going to be able to see other rosters people have created, and if you don't, and if you've already created a roster, you'll be able to see the one that you've made already. But since you're here, you're probably wanting to learn how to make one, so let's go ahead and just jump into it. We're going to go ahead and select injury-free roster, just so we have a clean slate to work with, no injuries, no other people's tinkering with anything that they've wanted to add in their roster. Now, as you guys can see, the Clippers are my favorite team. That's the team that I rock with, the team that I go with. I'm a diehard Clippers fan. You can hate all you want, but what we're going to be doing is pretty much just getting rid of a couple players because we're at the limit. We're at 15, and that is the most players you can have on your team. So we're not going to get rid of Blake. We're not going to get rid of DeAndre. What we're going to do is go ahead and get rid of a couple, how do you say it? No names? I don't want to put it that way, but in our case right now, Jawan Evans, you're going to have to go. We're going to go ahead and just select him and release him to free agency. We're not going to delete him from the roster. We'll do that to somebody else along the way later on in the video, but go ahead and just click on release to free agency. Once you've done that, you're just going to go ahead and click yes, and you're all good to go. Now, Sindarius Thornwell, he's sort of the same boat as Jawan Evans, but instead of releasing him to free agency, what we're going to go ahead and do is trade him with another team. Now, this squad, the Los Angeles Clippers, they're missing a little bit of showtime. They need a little bit of help in the point guard department. So what we're going to go ahead and do is trade Thornwell with a well-known point guard named Magic Johnson. Now over here, as you guys can see, these are the present day teams, but if you continue going to the left or the right, whichever which way, you'll find your way eventually to the teams you're looking for. Here are the all-time teams, which are specific only to 2K18. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for them, but we're going to go ahead and go to the 1986-87 Lakers and get Magic Johnson, because let's just do that for this episode. Why not? Once you're here, just go ahead and click on yes, and boom, just like that, the trade is done. It is complete, but let's go ahead and just do some confirmation. Sindarius Thornwell is now a member of the 1986-1987 Lakers, so that must mean that Magic Johnson is a part of the modern-day Los Angeles Clippers. There he is, Magic Johnson on the Clippers along with Blake Griffin, so now we have a point guard. But one other thing that I also want to do is go ahead and continue along the path of adding a free agent to the team. And that free agent is going to be none other than Chris Bosh. Why not get a backup power forward? This is your custom roster. Do whatever you want to do. So we're going to go ahead and add Chris Bosh to the Los Angeles Lakers. But as I said earlier, you're only allowed to have 15 players on a team. And that's going to be a little bit tricky for you, maybe. Who knows if you guys don't do it properly. But as you guys can see, the Cavaliers cannot add Chris Bosh because they already have 15 players. That sucks for the Cavaliers, because now, as the Clippers, we're going to go ahead and swoop in and get Chris Bosh. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Go down a couple, and you'll see this. Assign Chris Bosh to the Los Angeles Clippers. Of course we're going to do that. That's what we want to do all along. So let's go and select that. And then, before we go to our squad, let's go ahead and see the worst player on this roster. And it is Joel Anthony, former champion. 35 years old now. not doing so well. So what we're going to do is just get rid of him and delete him from the roster. Now be careful when you do this, because I do not know if there's any way to get a player back if you delete him. Just be careful, especially if it's a player like Larry Bird or something like that. Just know that once you delete a player, I think you might have to make a completely new roster. I'm not too sure. I've never ran it through, but I mean, it says delete the player from the roster, so just be careful when you're doing that. Now, once we're over here, we're almost done. We have our players that we want to add to the squad. We got Magic, we got Chris Bosh, we got Blake, we got DJ. But one thing that I've noticed is that Blake Griffin's a little old, and so is Magic Johnson, and so is Chris Bosh. So what we're going to do is go ahead and just lower their ages, because why not? It's our custom roster. This is how you want to do things. You go and edit the player, and once you select that, there's going to be a ton of things to choose from. The vitals, the accessories, the attributes, whatever you want to change about this player, you can go ahead and do that. But what we're going to focus on are his vitals. Basically, just his age. We're not going to change anything else. You can make him 7 foot tall. You can make him 5 foot tall, or however short the game allows. But instead of being born in 1989, what we're going to do is change his age to 19 years old, which is basically 1998. So now, Blake Griffin is no longer one of the older players on the squad. He's actually going to be 19 years old, which gives him more money, which gives him all the benefits of being young again. But that just means that he's going to be in the league longer for you if that's your favorite player. And I do believe that if you are in your My League, you can continue to change his age as the years go by, even while you're playing in your My League. So Magic Johnson, even though he's a classic player, you can also change his age, but there is a limit. For classic players, they don't go all the way to 1998 to become 19 years old, but for some reason, their age still does change. So let's go ahead and do that. His age right here is, or he was born in 1959, and let's go and put it to there. That's the farthest you can go, 1968. But for some reason, I don't know why, when you go back and you go and check his age, it goes to 19. I did this for another player. I think it was like Wes Unseld or something like that. I completely forgot who, but when you do it for the other player, it changed his age to like 54. So I don't know why it worked for Magic, but you can go into the quick edit mode by selecting start. That's going to help you out so much, something that 2K added in its previous game in 2K17. But here in 2K18, you can change their position, you can change their age, you can change any attribute you want, their tendencies. It's crazy. I'm going to go ahead and just change all these players' ages to 19. But not only that, you can also go ahead and go to the all-time teams, which is something they haven't done before, and you can change their ages to 19 as well. The classic players, the all-time players, never been able to do this in any other 2K game, which is crazy, and it's absolutely amazing that they've added it in the game. But with that being said, that's pretty much all there is to the video. As you guys can see, I'm just continuing on and just changing the ages. But that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. You just gotta confirm the changes. Make sure you confirm the changes and you save the roster. That's gonna be the end of this video, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. If I helped you, please make sure to leave a like. But with that being said, see you in the next episode. I'm gonna be doing a how to use a custom roster and how to make a custom team episode. So see you guys. Adios.